Our story begins with Charles Howard, a newly divorced businessman in the West.
Arriving with only 21 cents in his pocket, Charles Howard soon escalated to owning a Buick dealership.
Charles met his wife-to-be, Marcella, and they bonded over their love of horses.
Charles soon met and hired Tom Smith.
One day while at a horse show, Tom Smith suddenly stopped and looked around.
That's the first time Smith met Seabiscuit, and he knew there was something special about the horse.
They brought Seabiscuit back to the barn, but he didn't seem to get along with the other horses.
Smith decided to introduce Seabiscuit to Pumpkin, a veteran of the barn, and they soon became best friends and were inseparable.
Under Smith's care, Seabiscuit began to win races for the first time in his career.
Seabiscuit's first big race was the Santa Anita Handicap. It was a close race, but in the end, Rosemont won by a nose.
Shortly after, Pollard was riding on another horse, Fair Nightness, and fell off and crushed his chest.
Back at the barn, Marcella and Charles Howard worried about Pollard's health, and Tom Smith worried about who would ride Seabiscuit. The team decided to bring in George Wolfe, one of Red's old friends, one of the best jockeys in the sport.
Pollard gave Wolfe strict instructions on how to ride Seabiscuit.
George Wolfe's first important race was the 1938 Santa Anita Handicap.
In his second handicap, Seabiscuit lost a close race to Stagehand.
One cloudy afternoon after Pollard's recovery, he was taking his friend's horse for a ride around the barn when it bucked him off and smashed his leg.
Howard and Smith turned to George Wolfe once again.
Pollard soon fell in love with his beautiful nurse, Agnes, and I can't say I blame him.
Not long after, he asked her to marry him.
Back at the racetrack, George Wolfe was in a race against Ligarodi, Charles Howard's son's best racehorse. Seabiscuit came away with an easy win.
In the winner's circle, the feeling was bittersweet. Charles and Marcella still wanted to win the hunted grander.
The next big step for Seabiscuit was the long-anticipated duel between the two best racehorses in the nation. In 1938, Seabiscuit went up against War Admiral. Seabiscuit trounced War Admiral in the final furlongs.
In Seabiscuit's final race, he finally won the 1940 Santa Anita Handicap. After that, he retired and had many little biscuits. How cute.
Tom Smith remained a horse trainer until his dying day, and the Howards cared for Seabiscuit for the rest of their lives.